morning, everyone. It's Gary Bennett, Parker Bennett, Bennett Brothers Shop, Tractor Whisperer. We got a project this morning I'm excited about. We're gonna install our 12 valve motor, putting in our 450, the 5 by 12 thousandths SAC nozzles in our injectors. I've got my pump set up over here so we can verify their break point. I've checked several of these injectors. They're low. They're breaking at around 3,500 pounds now. We've also purchased the installation kit, which has variable thickness washers that goes under our injectors. And we also, with the nozzles, come this little shim kit. And these shims are made to go inside the nozzles, and I'll show you where they go, to elevate that breakpoint pressure. It's recommended that they break a little bit high. 3770 is where the factory setting is, so they're looking for 4,000, 4,100 pounds, somewhere in that range. So I'm excited about getting this done. We'll walk you through the process and hope you can see it's relatively simple. You can do it without this gauge to check your brake point, but it's awful nice to be able to confirm our settings. I hope you like this. Please hit that subscribe button and like button in the video. We look forward to showing you what we can do here to these nozzles to improve our performance. Okay, we got our injector nozzle here. I've already pulled the sleeve off the top, and we need to break it down. So I'm gonna put it in the vise. I got these aluminum jaws here in my vise so I don't mar it up. Got a 15 millimeter oak man, box in, excuse me, to break it down. They're relatively tight. And we'll get it loose. We'll lay it here over the table so we make sure we can keep track of all our parts. One of the things I'm going to do too, this debris that's right here around the nozzle makes this copper washer practically impossible to get off. So I got this little brush, and I'll clean the soot off of the nozzle, the old nozzle, so it'll help me get it apart. And we'll take it apart very, very slow. There's a few pieces in here. They're pretty well, they want to go in basically one way. There's a little tip that sits on top of the spring right here, and it goes straight in up. The spring is inside here. That's what's setting our brake pressure. These springs, after many years of service, they take a set. They lose a little bit. And after they do that, typically if you shim them, they'll retain that setting for a long, long period of time, just like they were brand new or better. So now we'll see if we can get our washer off of here. There's a stem inside of here too that could fall out, and I'll just go ahead and dump them out. There's a little plate in there as well. I don't want to come. There it is. This little plate, there's a big side and a flat side. Hope you can see it. The flat side goes toward the nozzle. The cup side is for this little tapered component to set in the nozzle, just like that. And then we got our pin, which is the needle itself. There it is. Now we got our nozzle up inside here. And this washer does its job, and it compresses And the exit seal, that come off relatively easy, that's good. So now this nozzle she'll push out. I'm gonna go ahead, I keep these for spare parts, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up a little bit. Just kind of lay it here in the tray for now. That magnetic tray sucks them to the bottom. And I'll also go ahead and clean the nozzle point, the sleeve, the body. Give me a little compressed air here. Keep in mind that everything you're doing is ahead of all filters. So you want to keep it as clean as you possibly can. It's hard, I know, because everything you're touching on them is dirty. When I say dirty, it has slight bits of fuel residue on it. I'm gonna pop this new nozzle out. They're packaged real nice. We got these nozzles from Power Driven Diesel as well as a shim kit, which is an awful nice feature to raise. And there's our new nozzle. I'm gonna go ahead while I'm here, and I'm gonna stick the old nozzle back in the pack and put it in this sleeve and lay it to one side, just get it out of the way. So now, we know this breaks low. We've already tested these nozzles. They broke low. So, to elevate them, I'm gonna get one of these little washers out of my pack here. I try not to take them out but one at a time. They're so tiny. If you used to drop one on the floor, you'd be searching for it forever. Alright, there's one of my shims out. And this shim, I've actually, now look at there, there's actually two of them there. So that's how thin they are. They're only 6/1000ths of an inch in thickness. I'm gonna just set this one right there for now. And I'm gonna take this one that I have, and it actually sits right on top of the spring. You can drop them in, but I like to insert them in. No, I don't have them twisted. I got that in, that's all the way in. Now I'm gonna set my pin. It's actually the top of the needle seat. I'm gonna set it in. And you'll notice these holes in the back of the injector, and you'll notice that the holes, two of the hoses below center, and you'll notice that on this one as well. And remember, the big side or the cupped side, and I'll hold this up here so you can see it. That's the flat side, and then this is the cupped side. And the cup side goes against the needle seat. So we're going to set this on here, line the holes up. They're very, very precise. And they'll set on there just like that. And you'll also notice that this hole lines up with the hole in the injector. That's the hole that the fuel passes through. And you'll see this one here. It's the same configuration, and then we'll set this, and they're just like that. Now you can't push it all the way down because it's springs holding it up. I just hold them vertical. Run this down with my fingers. Till I get some tension on it. Then I'm going to stick it back in the vise. Snug it up. Take my wrench. And snug that seat up. That feels good. Good and snug, tight. When you tighten the sleeve down, you tighten it back in there, and you have your shim underneath it, it's going to compress this. So you want it tight enough to seal the injector up. Now I'm going to take this injector with a new nozzle in it. I'll put it in my pump, and we'll check it and see how it breaks. We'll put the nozzle in. All right, I got that snugged up. So here we go. Starting to come up. The inside range is what we're looking for. Whoops, sorry. It's 35. About 4,050, 4,100. And then also I want you to notice, I'm gonna set this a little bit different so I can operate it better. And hopefully you can see it better too. I'll turn this needle, even though I don't rely on it because it jumps, so when it breaks, watch the black needle. And the inside ring, we're at 39, we're at 4, 4,100. Now watch the nozzle for spray pattern. Let me move my paper towels. We know I'm gonna have diesel fuel paper towels. All right, watch it one more time. Here we go. Let me make sure I got you going. Yep. All right, watch the pattern. You can also watch the needle. All right, breaking at 4,100 pounds. So I'm happy with that. There we go. I'll go ahead and set the sleeve back on it. I won't put the O-ring on it. We got new O-rings. The O-rings go right here. Keep dirt and debris from getting in around the injector when it's installed in the truck. We'll put them on there after we put the injector back in. One thing I didn't mention either, make sure while you got your injector, this surface right here where your washer goes, make sure it's really clean. And we'll do the same thing to the seat and the head to make sure, especially if you're using the thin shims. The thing about this kit, this installation kit right here, it comes with 3 thicknesses of shims. They just call them standard, medium, and thin. And the standard shim is about 62 thousandths thick. The thin shim is really thin. And they do that, make sure I think this is it. The thin shim is only 19 thousandths, 18 thousandths thick. And they do that to help you when you put this into the head. 4 thousandths thick, it holds it back. If it's thinner, it sets it deeper. And if it's set deeper, what it does is it gets the spray pattern deeper into the bowl. And if you're if you're running your timing real high or higher to make more power, that means this injection is going to happen before the piston is where it normally would be on timing. Say it's timed at 14 degrees. It was at this point. If you had it timed to 18 degrees, it'd be at that point. So by setting this in deeper, the spray pattern deeper into the piston bowl, and the pattern being in the bowl is crucial so you don't have a problem with piston rings or trying to melt the top of your piston. You want that process to start and happen in the bowl. Okay, we'll get 5 more of these done. That'll conclude our nozzles install, our 5-hole by 12 SAC nozzles, recalibrated, ready to go back into the 5.9 that we're going to put in our 450. We're excited about getting these in. We're going to use the thin washers on the bottom to set the nozzles deeper into the head because of our increased timing. That'll be our next step. We'll be putting the P-pump on the motor. So we look forward to getting that video, so watch for it soon. Parker and Gary Bennett, Bennett Brothers Shop, Tractor Whisperer. Looking forward to the next video and sharing it with you guys. Please like and subscribe.